Welcome back to S&S Grills. I'm Russ Jones with the YouTube channel Smoky Ribs Barbecue. In today's video, I'm going to show you the differences between a porterhouse steak and a T-bone steak. And also, I'm going to show you how to reverse sear a fantastic looking porterhouse. We're going to get started right after this. I'm gonna get this cook started by getting a slow and sear kettle up to temperature. I'm shooting somewhere between 225 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm starting with 1/4 of a charcoal chimney load of charcoal briquettes. They are lit, so let's put them in. So you just wanna put all these in one corner. Gonna place our lid on. Gonna be bringing this temperature up on a slow and sear kettle, and I've got the bottom vent wide open, I've got the top vent wide open. Once I get around the 200 degree mark inside the pit, then I'll start dialing down the lower vent and I'll dial down the top vent. I'll show you those adjustments when they come into play. So what exactly is the differences between a porterhouse and a T-bone? Well, let me show you. All right, right here, you got your porterhouse, you got your T-bone. If you'll notice, this area of meat right here, that is your filet, that is your tenderloin. You also have a little small section of it running right here on this T-bone. So the USDA has deemed that if this cut has more than 1 1/4 inch of the filet, then it is called a porterhouse. If it has under that, then it is a T-bone. So that is obviously a T-bone. There's just a sliver of the filet. And that's why this is such a popular cut, because a lot of times a man and a woman will go into the steakhouse, because women seem to love filets and men love the strip loin. This is your strip, this is your tenderloin. And so it'll be a his and her steak, or you know, a big eater, he'll eat it all. That is your more tender meat right here. The strip normally falls, as far as popularity, right up under a ribeye as far as tenderness and flavor. So with the porterhouse, you get a combination of both. It really is a really good choice. Now last night I did do a salt brine on this. I took kosher salt and I layered salt on both sides. I put them on this rack, put them in the fridge. They've been in there roughly 18 hours. Now, overnight, it will penetrate this meat, and the salt will be detected all the way into the deepest part of this meat that fully seasons it. I am dialed in at 250 degrees exactly on this S&S Grills thermometer on the slow and sear kettle. So what I'm going to do is we're going to remove that lid, and we're going to put this thick porterhouse on here. So I've got a single probe for a thermometer. So I tell you what, let me rotate this more like this, and we're just going to gauge it. We're going to pinch it off where it needs to go. We're going to put the lid on this. So when I hit 80 degrees Fahrenheit, I will be flipping this. That's to promote even cooking from top to bottom, from end to end, to get that perfect medium that I'm looking for. All right, so what I'm gonna do, when I hit 100 degrees internal, I've got a whole basket of charcoal briquettes. We're gonna light them up, and by the time we hit 115 degrees internal on this steak, our charcoal should be ready. We'll remove the steak, prep it up, getting ready for a hot sear. I just hit 115 degrees internal, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the lid off. We're gonna pull this probe. Gonna remove our steak. We're gonna place it right here. Getting ready to prep that up, getting it ready for a hot sear, but first, so what I also want to do is take this grate and remove it completely. Let it be cooling down while I prep this steak. Take a look at that beautiful color on this. This is unlike most steaks that you put, take right out of the wrapper and try to grill. They don't have this deep mahogany color like you're seeing here. That is a combination of the salt brine, the dry brine we did overnight, along with the fact that we did a reverse sear, which is, even though I didn't add smoke wood, it's still somewhat smoking. So what you want to do is remove any excess moisture off of both sides. Moisture takes a lot of energy to evaporate before this steak will begin to sear, so we'll make sure you remove all your moisture. So what I want to do at this time is just take and add some olive oil. Just coat each side of this with your olive oil. So we got the salt already in this from the dry brine. Now we're just adding black pepper. Just pat that in. All right, we're gonna flip it over and give it the same treatment. All right, it is time to sear, and I've got one full chimney of hot briquettes that's going to do the work. That grate is cold. On with the steak we go, and this is a massive steak, and it just does fit. We're going to do about 1 minute per side. Just this smell coming off from this sear is incredible. It smells like you just walked into one of the finest steak houses ever. All right, so let's roll it. Now we got another cold side. We're going to put our steak onto the other side. Oh man, look at that already. That's already a nice sear. We've only went 1 minute. I'm going to loosely tint this with foil, allow it to rest, and it will come up to a perfect medium internal. I just want to cut down this bone. Pretty much just remove it from the bone. There we go. Let's just cut right into the middle of it. We're gonna have to let it bloom. It's hard to see out here in this bright sunlight, but I can definitely see some pink coming through. So we're gonna give it a taste, see what we got. That's really good steak. I hope y'all got something from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am Russ Jones with S&S Grills, and remember, 2 zones are better than 1.